Hey, my name is Dee Hutchins, and I'm from Hodgenville, Kentucky. Hodgenville is a small town in central Kentucky, not known for much except it's the birthplace of Abraham Lincoln. And it's a pleasure to spend a few moments with you to talk about the four pillars of health. And I didn't know really much about the four pillars of health until I was in my early 40s, which is surprising because I was someone who was very interested in health and wellness and fitness. I'd spent time coaching college and high school basketball in Kentucky for several years, and I'd spent time actually working with Michael Jordan in Chicago for a whole decade, and they would bring in nutritionists and trainers that worked with us and would teach us things. And so I was really confident. I knew how to take care of myself properly as it related to water and sleep and exercise and nutrition. Fortunately, a friend of mine, a former student of mine, who was a chiropractor, asked me to take a look at a nutritional food and really gain more knowledge about how to feed my body properly. And so I was kind of reluctant, but I decided to start learning a little bit. And what I ended up doing was unlearning some things, relearning some things about nutrition. And I realized that my family, we weren't feeding our bodies like we should, getting the nutrition that we need. And so when I realized I was lacking in that area, I started studying water, sleep, and exercise. So real quick, I'm just going to kind of bounce through these things very quickly and share what I've learned over the last decade. Things that sadly should be taught in school, should be talked about on the news and other places to provide a service for people, because these are requirements, not opinions. So we'll start with water. How much water should you be drinking every day? Well, as an adult, there's a general consensus, and a lot of people say just take your body weight, chop it in half, and that's how many ounces a day you should drink. I'll use the Mayo Clinic as an example. It's a research hospital. They recommend 9 to 13 cups a day. Now, 9 is a starting point for a female. If you take 9 times 8 ounces, that's 72 ounces. That's a lot of water. That's a starting point for a woman. So depending on the area of the country you live in, your activity level, the amount of, or the area of the country you live in, all this thing can factor in the amount of water you should drink. So why should you drink water? Well, water is a major factor from a standpoint of reducing headaches, reducing fatigue, and also muscle soreness. How about sleep? The consensus on sleep is much more exact. We need to have 7 to 8 or 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep as an adult. There are many things that happen when we don't get enough sleep. Our immune system's compromised, which means we're more prone to catching colds and other things we don't want to catch. But if we're having chronic lack of sleep, which a lot of Americans are, we're more prone to things like heart attack, heart disease, heart failure, stroke, high blood pressure, diabetes, ages your skin, kills your sex drive, makes you fat, can make you function as though you're inebriated. It actually causes anxiety and depression. It's always amazing to me. We live in this great country. We have more people depressed in America than any place on the planet, with all this great opportunity and freedom that we have around us. So maybe sleep's a major factor in that. Besides water and sleep, exercise is something I was around my whole life, but nobody ever taught me the minimum effort every week I needed to make. So the minimum effort is walking at least around 4 miles a day. That doesn't mean all at one time, just throughout the day you're getting plenty of steps in. That lowers your blood pressure, keeps your blood sugar from spiking after meals. It's also recommended we do some vigorous cardio every week. So it means you get your heart rate up to strengthen your heart. This could be dancing, swimming, biking, whatever, but that's at least 90 minutes a week. So 3 times for 30 minutes. And then lastly, resistance training. And what is resistance training? That means anything that causes resistance. Could be push-ups, sit-ups, bands, yoga, light weights. What does this do? It builds up bone density, which is very important as we age. Too many people are dealing with osteoporosis unnecessarily because they've not done any resistance training. And lastly is nutrition. Nutrition is the toughest of the four because the first 3, water, sleep, exercise, are basically free. It's just a matter of people to understand how to do them or discipline enough to do them. Nutrition requires a serious investment of money and an effort on your part to know what to buy, how to prepare it. So a nutritionist would probably tell you in an overarching statement, they would say buy real food and eat a big variety of it. Okay, real food meaning fruits, vegetables, greens, grains, and nuts. And a big variety, they would say, I've heard some say 3 to 4 dozen different ones, or 30 to 40. That's a lot of different fruits and vegetables, and even in my grocery in Hodgenville, Kentucky, we don't have access to that. So ascertaining and looking for the nutrition that your body needs is it takes a real effort on our part, but it's worth it. It's something we're supposed to be doing. It's kind of like the different philosophies, and I'll close with this. A lot of people live on the philosophy of living to eat, okay? I encourage you to eat to live, which means go out and actually search for the nutrition that your body needs to function properly.